Hey, Magic friends, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Captain Clyde's MTG News. We're here today to go through the top commander cards that you should be picking up if you play Commander from Dominaria United. Because these cards I think are going to be staples, and if they're not staples, they're definitely going to be cards that you should be including in any of your Commander decks. So, before we get started, don't forget we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Please sub up. One click of the button may not mean a lot to you, but it means a lot to the channel, and I appreciate any support you can give me. So let's start down this path. We'll start with number 10. That's right, Sprouting Goblin. If you haven't picked this up yet, you might as well go ahead and get started. Luckily, it's an uncommon. It probably won't get too expensive. But a 2-2 for 2 that if you kick it for a green, you can literally search for a basic land card and put it into your hand. Nothing like 3 mana fixing with a 2-2 guy on the end of it with some legs. Also, with the extra ability of a red and tapping it, you can sacrifice a land to draw a card. That's even a better ability, especially if you're playing a Crucible of Worlds or any other kind of thing, unless you play lands out of your graveyard. This is basically a 1 red draw card if you have a way to get the land back out of your graveyard. And late game, maybe you don't need the land back and you just need to draw a card. I think that's going to make this card very popular in any kind of red-green style decks just because it has a lot of things it can do and there's no reason not to play it. Moving on to number 9, we have Maria, Scholar of Antiquity, red, green, 1, and as a 3-3, a very good legendary elf artificer. You can tap an untapped non-token artifact you control to add 1 green. Nothing like some sweet old mana ramp. You can tap 2 untapped non-token artifacts you control to exile top card of your library. You may play it this turn. Again, a great way for artifact decks or decks heavy in artifacts to not only draw through their deck to find cards to play, but also generate mana. Not to mention it's a 3-3 for 3, so it's not too shabby. It is a rare. I don't think it's going to get too high priced, but it's really going to depend on the standard format, how it goes, so do what you will, but I think this is something definitely you'd want to pick up if you're playing Commander. All right, on the number 8, we have Tear Asunder. That's right. A green and 1 for an instant that lets you exile an artifact or enchantment. It's a disenchant on crack. There's nothing better than this. It's green. If you're playing white-green, this gives you an extra disenchant at instant speed. Plus it exiles, which is better than just destroying. And if you're playing black in your deck as well, or a way to generate black mana, if you kick it for a black and 1, you can exile any non-land permanent. So not only is it a disenchant, it's a disenchant plus. So this is a great card to have in your commander deck if you're in these colors. And it can kill anything or can be just a really good disenchant. Either way, this is something you should be playing if you've got green and black in your deck. Next, we have Shieldred, the Apocalypse. That's right, how'd you not guess? It's only at number 7, though. 2 black and 2 for a 4-5 with Death Touch. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. When the opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. Could be very interesting to play as a commander, but then it may put you in mono black, so I don't know about that. But it definitely should be in any deck you're playing black. You should definitely have one of these because why not? I mean, 4 or 5 for 4. It has Death Touch, gain life, lose life. Does a little bit of everything. Probably not powerful enough to be a commander, but hey, what do I know? Moving on. Next, we have number 6, Karn Silex. So for 3 mana, this legendary artifact enters the battlefield tapped. Players can't pay life to cast spells or to activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. For X and tap, you can exile the Silex to destroy each non-land permanent with mana value X or less, activate only as a sorcery. This is like a targeted Nevinyrral's Disc, or Pernicious Deed, if you will. You do have to exile this card, so you only get 1 use out of it. But in a deck of 99, where you only get 1 of everything, every ability you have that you can do a board wipe with is probably something you want. Not to mention the extra ability to prevent people from paying life to cast spells or activate abilities. Not too shabby, not gonna lie. So, I think this is number 6, and if you're playing Commander, I mean, it's an artifact. Why wouldn't you throw it in any deck that you got? And to be honest with you, between all the other formats and how cheap this is, this might be kind of pricey. So if it's cheap now, you might want to go get one. Moving on, we have number 5. That's right, it's Rift Liberated Primeval. Why is this on here? Well, it's a dragon. What more do you want to know? Yeah, so this legendary dragon for a white, green, red, and 2 is a 5/5 flying Ward 2 dragon. Well, all of the dragons you control have Ward 2. And at the beginning of your end step, if a creature or planeswalker an opponent controlled was dealt excess damage this turn, create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. It slices, it dices, it makes julienne fries. This should be in every dragon commander deck, if not maybe the commander itself. Um, I just see how you don't play this in commander. So there you go. And also 5 mana for a 5/5 flyer with all these extra abilities. This might see some standard play, so you might want to buy it before it gets too expensive because who knows? This might see some this might become a standard all-star. Maybe. Next we have number 4, Soul of Windgrace. That's right, the old commander from back in the day is back. Green, red, black, and 1 for a 5/4. Whenever Soul of Windgrace enters the battlefield or attacks, you may put a land card from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under your control. For 1 green, you can discard land to gain 3 life. For a red and 1, you can discard land to draw a card. And for a black and 2, discard a land, Soul of Windgrace gets indestructible in a turn, and you tap it. This thing is going to be amazing because you literally can just discard all your land and then have this guy put it back into play for you. And when you have fetch lands and lands you can cycle, and the lands that sack from, oh goodness, New Capenna, this thing is just going to be amazing in Commander. And don't forget, guys, this says a graveyard. You can steal land from your opponent and put it into play on your side. This is going to be a great card. It's already starting to see some play in Standard. And if that's the case, there's no way this doesn't get into Commander. This thing is just way too good. All right, moving right along. Next, number 3 for Commander, we have Plaza of Heroes. It's a land, taps for a colorless, but you can add 1 mana of any color, spend this mana only to cast legendary spells, i.e. Planeswalker, i.e. your Commander, i.e. most things in your Commander deck. Also, add 1 mana of any color among legendary permanents you control. So once you get your Commander out, now you can cast anything your commander is. Plus, for 3 colorless, tap, exile the Plaza, target legendary creature gains hexproof, indestructible end of turn. It also protects your commander. This is going to be a mainstay in every commander deck. It is a rare card. Probably won't get much higher than $5. I mean, I could be wrong depending on how well legendaries and so forth start seeing play in Standard. But I wouldn't be surprised if this card got up around $10 or $15 depending on how much play it sees, because it's almost like a universal dual land. It taps for any color that doesn't deal damage to you, and it does tap for colorless. Like, how could you not have this in every commander deck? Moving right along, number 2. That's right, there's a new rock in town, boys, and it's the Rock of Ages, Relic of Legends. So for 3 colorless, you have an artifact that taps for mana of any color. Now, normally, you want a little cheaper rock than this, but this rock allows you to tap an untapped legendary creature you control to add 1 mana of any color. There are many cards like this that cost 4 or more to get a same kind of effect out of lands and creatures and so forth. I think this is going to be the new superstar rock that every commander deck is going to play because, well, if you can tap all your legendary creatures as mana dorks of any color, as birds of paradise, plus they have stats, plus this taps for mana. I mean, how can you not always have mana fixing if that's just not the thing? So this is my next prediction of what will be in every commander deck. And to wrap it up, number 1 commander card you should be picking up. That's right, the Phyrexian cycle of every color. The reason why? Well, you can monocolor these guys as legends. Well, not really legendary creatures, but if you get one of these guys out in your deck that you're playing, let's say you're playing a 3-color deck, red, green, and black, why would you not just play all 3 of these? Like, they're all very good at their rate. They have really cool abilities, and the ability to cast anything at Phyrexian mana is just amazing. And if you happen to play a permanent, they all give you really cool special abilities, especially the blue one that lets you draw a card. You know, this one deals the damage. This one puts big counters on everything. You know, this one gives stuff +1/+1 in minutes to end a turn. This one starts pumping out dudes. These are all very powerful cards that I think will become very big in Commander and should be part of any 99 no matter what you play. So, with that said, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Comments down below is going to feed the YouTube algorithm. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Hook me up. I appreciate it. If you already are, thank you very much. If you want to help do more, don't forget there's links in the description to the eBay store, Patreon, and a link to the email if you just want to reach out and say, hey. So without further ado, remember, until next time, be kind. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table, hopefully at Magic 30.